the Fulton County Sheriff's Office is inviting the Fulton County community to a town hall coming up Thursday night at 7 o'clock at Enon Baptist Church. It's focused on public safety, and for a preview around the discussion expected to take place there, we're joined right now live by Fulton County Sheriff Pat Labat. Sheriff, thanks for being with us. We appreciate it. We've got this town hall coming up Thursday night. What can folks expect if they come out?
First of all, thank you. Thank you for having us. Thank you for having me. We're excited, right? We've said since the beginning of our administration, we want to be more inclusive than exclusive. And you can expect a robust conversation around the misdemeanor population. You can expect the facts around that, what that looks like in terms of us being able to communicate, hopefully engage with our community so they better understand that this notion that we have thousands and thousands of people charged with misdemeanors just simply isn't true. As of today, for instance, we have 112 misdemeanors, and that represents anywhere from 1% to 2% of our total inmate resident population. And so everybody else are charged with either state charges and or serious felonies. And so we just want to have a conversation. We want our community to know that we are there for them, and to be really thoughtful, given that we have nearly 2,800 to 3,000 of those inmate residents. That also means that there are potentially 3,000 people that are victims of crime. And so our job is to protect and serve as well.
And Sheriff, you referenced that the misdemeanor policy. I want to ask you about this. It was back in May, you announced that the jail was planning on not accepting a lot of misdemeanor detainees in an effort to help address overcrowding issues. Last month, that got walked back a little bit, and you shared, and your office shared, that discussions over the misdemeanor detainee policy were still underway. No final decision had been made. Do you have an update on that? Has a final decision been made about the jail's policy for misdemeanor detainees?
So first of all, thank you. And thank you for the opportunity to provide some specificity around that. So not necessarily walk back, but just provide clarification. And ultimately, we've said all along that we will let the data drive the conversation. And so that's part of the town hall meeting so that we can share some of the data. We've been very, very collaborative with our justice partners. As you know, there are 15 different municipalities inside Fulton County. And ultimately, we want to let the data drive the conversation, but we also want to be good partners. And that's our goal as we focus on what that looks like. We had very high hopes that we would have some of this done by July 1st. But given FIFA and all the other things, wonderful things happening inside Fulton County and the Atlanta metro area, those things simply weren't possible then. We'll have this town hall meeting, possibly another town hall meeting in North County, but ultimately we will be very thoughtful about our approach. And again, we have to be mindful that less than 1% in many instances of our charges are misdemeanors, and most of those surround or involve either domestic violence or mental health issues. And so we want to provide safety and security, but we don't want people here that don't need to be in the Fulton County Jail longer than they need to be.
So right now, no final decision as of yet. That can be coming sometime down the road.
It is. Again, with certainly, not to get political, but with elections happening and occurring in November and new commissioners taking office, we just want to be very thoughtful about the approach. There's no need to rush whatsoever. We have dealt with this since coming out of COVID. Some of the things that we did during COVID were very, very productive for us. And so we just want to be thoughtful, take our time, and make sure we make the right decisions.
You've got this town hall coming up in just a couple days, Thursday night, 7 o'clock. What are the biggest concerns that you expect to hear about from constituents who show up on Thursday night?
Well, the ones that show up, right, have a vested interest in many instances of over jailing or over really the population itself, and what does that look like. We'll be able to provide facts around that. We put a survey out, and so we'll ask our team to get you all that survey. We want to know what our stakeholders have and have said and what that looks like to them. And so, as you know, there are 3 or 4 different municipalities inside Fulton County that run their own jail. We want to know what that impact is. So again, this has been a good partner and making sure that we don't really overcorrect. And there's an opportunity here for us to continue to work with our Solicitor Gamage, certainly our DA, Fonnie Willis, our clerk, and with Madam Clerk Shay Alexander to really figure out how to reduce the inmate resident population, but at the same time, provide the best services to our community.
Sheriff, you referenced the inmate conditions and the inmate population at the jail. A long-running, years-long conversation here in Atlanta over the Fulton County Jail. As you well know, a few months ago, Fulton County Commissioners approved a roughly $1.3 billion plan to renovate the jail. You lobbied strongly for a different proposal. You wanted to see the jail totally rebuilt as opposed to renovated. Obviously, the commission ended up going in a different direction. Given that the renovation is now funded and is set to take place, is the renovation going to be enough? Is it going to be enough to significantly improve conditions at the jail?
Well, first of all, thank you for pointing that out. Let me provide a little more clarity. With respect to the original legislation that was passed by then the Board of Commissioners, they did a almost $1.52 million 15-month jail feasibility study that said our jail is out of life cycle. Then the political winds changed, people started running for office, and ultimately they backtracked on that. And this $1.36 billion is for a special purpose building. It's for a quick build for potentially 500 inmate residents, as well as then half of that for repurposing or rehabbing 901 Rice Street. I stand where I've always stood, is that the citizens of Fulton County, our community as a whole, deserve a facility that they can be proud of. The women and men of Fulton County Sheriff's Office come every day to work in some of the most heinous conditions, but ultimately they do their job, they do it well, and we're in a place that Fulton County deserves a facility, really a facility they can be proud of, that we can work with the community on building and do some things much like the Atlanta training facility when will come that is proud and that will the arrest are the arrest. You look at things around FIFA, you look at operation around different law enforcement agencies over the past 3 or 4 weeks, arrests are down. We hope that will stay trend, but it is, you build it, we will do a better job of recruiting and retaining individuals.
All right, Sheriff, I think we're having a little bit of trouble. We're losing your connection a little bit, but we were short on time as it is. We're going to let you go, but always look forward to future conversations anytime here in the 11 Live Streaming Center. That Public Safety Town Hall taking place Thursday night at Enon Baptist Church at 7 o'clock. Sheriff Patrick Labat, thank you for joining us, and thank you for being with us.